Hello students, hope you are well at home and doing your hard work. So as yesterday we had discussed about the three concepts, that is capital, money and income. So now today we are discussing about the meaning of market, production, consumption and investment. These four terms today we are going to study. But before that, we will discuss some key terms that today we are using. So first key term is utility. As this is our concept also, utility means the power of a commodity that satisfy human wants. Like if we are hungry, we eat food. If we are thirsty, then we drink water. So what is this? Food and water is a commodity that has a power to satisfy the want at that time when it is in need. So it is known as the utility. Next, our second term is depreciation. Depreciation means reduction or reduces the value of an asset. The asset should be a fixed asset, means that asset used for a long period of a time. Long period includes 5 to 10 years. Then it includes and it reduces its value and known as a depreciation. For example, we all use phones, right? If today we are getting a phone or we purchasing a phone at rupees 20,000 and we are using it, after 1 year when we go to a market to sell it and its value is up to 10 to 12,000 rupees. Then what is this? This is a term we use as a depreciation. That the reduction of the value of that product or that asset is known as a depreciation. This reduction should be done because of the various reasons. Like wear and tear means some damages there should be done. So it is known as the wear and tear. Maybe it is done for their age, that they are old and getting its age more and more. And when the product's its age is more, it should have a reduction in the value of that product. Next is the usage. How much time we use it. It also differs the point and reduction in the value of the asset. So I hope you are clear with the depreciation. Depreciation means reduce the value of the asset when we are going to sell it into the market. For example, as machinery is purchased for 5 years, rupees 50,000. Clear? But depreciation, as we assume the term 10% that are provided in the 50,000, and that comes the depreciation amount of rupees 5,000. Means if we are going to sell it into the market after 1 year, that the depreciation should be provided for 1 year. So when it goes to the market to sell it, the machinery should be sell into the 45,000 rupees. As the difference between the 50,000 minus 5,000, the term we get is 45,000. And that is the amount that we are going to get when we sell that machinery after 1 year. So it is known as the depreciation. Next one is the market. Market means a place where the buyer and the seller meet each other and exchange the goods and the services. Like example, there are various shops at the market, a place where are various shops like grocery shops, clothes, toys, books, what we are needed in day-to-day life. That is a place of market where the buyers and the sellers meet and sell the goods to each other. Clear? Next one is the commodity. Commodity is simply a word that is used for products or for the goods and the services that are to be produced or that are to be buy or sell. So we can say that commodity or products or goods and the services. So next our key term is the real asset. Real asset means the asset or the investment that should be done in the purchasing of the land and building, plant and machinery, equipment, or maybe of gold and silver, where we are invested the money to buy the product that is to be used for a long period of time. This is known as the real investment or the real assets. But financial investment means investment in the shares and the debentures. The financial investment, shares and debentures, means a piece of paper that we get in return of the money, and in after few years back we can get money for that piece of paper. It is known as the financial investment. Means we are investing today, but we are getting in future the double amount or the amount of getting profits included in it, and this is known as the financial investment. Clear? So first our key term is market. Market, in a simple terms, we can say that a place where the buyer and the seller meet to buy or sell the products or to exchange the products with each other. Clear? But in economics, we can say that a commodity is a market. Means where the commodity needs, there the buyer and the seller meets. If we go a market, a place where that product is not available, then that is not a market for me. That is not a market at that time. So when there is a commodity available there and it can be sold by the seller and purchased by the buyer, then it is known as the market. So we can say that market may be a fixed place or maybe a place where the commodity available and then we can sell or buy that. Like there we can buy or sell from the letters, emails, telegrams, telephones, and even there are various apps like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Club Factory, that are what? These are the places where we can buy and sell the goods and the services, where we can buy easily and the product should be purchased or to be sold easily. This is known as a place of market. So in the market there are some features, that is, it involves the area. Area may be a particular place or may be a place where the products should be available. So we can say that the area becomes the point of contact where the buyers and the sellers meet with each other. So it is the area of the contact between the buyers and the sellers. Next one is the buyers and the sellers. Buyer means who wants to purchase the good, right? And seller means who sells that good at that time, sells that product at that time. So this is known as the buyers and the sellers. Both are included and it is necessary to both are come to contact with each other to buy and sell the goods. Next one is the commodity. Commodity means goods that are to be bought and sold by the buyers and the sellers. A product, a good or a service that is to be needed. Like books is a commodity. Some other things, clothes, shoes. These are what? These are the commodities that can be buy and sell by the buyer and the seller. Next one is the competition. Competition should be there between the buyers and even the sellers also, so that there should not be a monopoly of that product. Means they cannot sell that product in high prices. So that is known as the competition. Competition means there are the various sellers who sell that product and there are the various buyers who buy that product. So at that time this is known as the competition. So this is all about the market. Next our key term is production. As the production means producing the goods or creation of the goods and the services, it includes the production. Suppose farmer produces a wheat of rupees 50,000. So that wheat is the production for him. Clear? It includes the primary and the secondary inputs. Primary inputs may be a land, labor, capital. Capital means money. Clear? But secondary inputs means some seeds, waters, electricity, pesticides that are to be used for the production, so that the goods are to be produced easily. So if the wheat cost is rupees 50,000 and the secondary inputs that the farmer involved in its production is cost rupees 20,000, then the rest amount is 30,000, because the land, labor and capital is for him. So it is not to be included at that time, or it is to be included in the 50,000 rupees. So secondary inputs that are to be taken from the outside the sources, and the cost is rupees 20,000. So the rest amount is 30,000, and 30,000 is the value added by the farmer. The farmer should added the value, uses the 20,000 products in the 50,000 in the main production, we can say that, and producing the good, that is known as the production. So we can say that it is an activity that results in the value added. Value should be added and it costs rupees high. So that is why it is known as the value added or creation of the goods and the services. When something is to be created from some other sources like raw material or some other sources, that is known as the production. In production, we can create a various utilities. Utilities means the power of a commodity that can satisfy the wants. So first one is the form utility. Form utility means like wood change into the table, right? Or wood can change into the bed. Tailor converts the cloth into the shirt. So shirt is a shape that gives from the cloth. So form means changes the shape of the goods that can be consumed by the consumer. So form utility is included in the production because it included the changes of the shape so that it fulfills the needs of the customers. This is known as the production. Next, our utility is place utility. For example, coals from the mines are extracted and then it goes to the industry so that they can use it into the oil, diesel or petrol, right? So place utility means transfer the goods and the services from one place to the another so that it can be used for further production. So in the production, second utility is place utility that is to be created. Next, the third utility is the time utility. Time utility means like seasonal fruits like apple, mangoes, oranges. They are grow in their particular season. Likewise, also peas. Peas mostly grow in the winter season, but they are demanded all over the year or throughout the year. So we are using some cold storages or warehouses so that we can come up with the demand when it is in need. We can fulfill our demand when the consumers need it. So this utility is to be created in the production by warehouses or by cold storages. Next utility is to be ownership utility. Means transfer of the goods and the services, and even the ownership should be transferred. Owner means who has a legal right to use that thing, right? So a person changes the owner. A person changes the owner by selling the goods is known as the ownership utility. For example, purchase of the books from the bookseller by the students. So students has a more utility of the books than the bookseller. So by transferring the ownership, we can add a creation of the utility to that person. Next, our utility is service utility. Service utility like doctors, teachers, lawyers, judges. What are these? They provided the services to the consumers. So in this, production is to be done so that the consumer can consume it. Doctor treats his patients, teacher teaches at the class. So what is this? They provide the services and creates the utility to their consumers that satisfy the human wants. This is known as the service utility. Next one is the knowledge utility. Knowledge utility like calculators, machines, computers. What are these? They are helpful to provide the knowledge, skills to the persons or to the consumers. So in this way, they can create utility in the persons. So these are utilities that are form utility, and then the place, time, ownership, service, and the knowledge utility that are to be used in the production. First, the production should be done, and then these are to be created utility or creating the production or part of the commodity that satisfy the human wants should be done. So this is all about the production. Next, our third concept is consumption. Consumption means directly satisfy the human wants. Consumption means person can consume the good. What he want or what he desire for, he can consume it. So it includes the satisfaction of the human wants. The wants are satisfied by getting the goods and the services. When the goods and the services are to be purchased, and then it should be consumed, and this is known as the consumption. So in the consumption, it includes the created utility, means what the production creates utility, that utility is using up in the consumption. That utility of the ownership. When the books is to be purchased by the student, that means it is the consumption. That utility is using up by the person to satisfy his wants, then it is known as the consumption. Like using of a car, house, books, pen, pencils, it includes the consumption of the goods, means using of that goods. That utility should be used, then it is known as the consumption. So in this, there is a note that there is a gap between the production and the consumption of the material goods. When the material goods are to be produced and then they are consumed, there is a gap between the two. Like watch, TV, car, pen, they are firstly produced in the various other places, then it should be sell at the market, and then it should be consumed. Means there is a gap between the production and the consumption. But there is no gap between the production and the consumption of the services. Like if doctor treats his patients, doctor producing its production, right? Doctor producing it and patients at that time consuming it. So this is known as the services. There is no gap between the production and the consumption of the services. So next point is collective wants. There are some wants that are to be used collectively in the society. It is also known as the consumption. Like street lights, park, water facilities, or some sanitation facilities that are covered under the term collective wants. These are the wants that satisfy the human wants, but these are collectively used by the society. Then it is known as the consumption also. So now the next question arises that what is the relationship between the production and the consumption? So we can say that production is the way or a means that can satisfy the human wants. So consumption is an end. When it consumed it, it satisfies the want, it means it is an end. But production is a way to consume it. So we can say that production is a way. Without consumption, production should not be there. So without production, there is no consumption. So they both are interlinked with each other. Also, if the consumption increases, production should be increased. If production increases, there may or may not be a consumption increase. But if the consumption increase, there should be a production should be increased at that time or in the future also. So we can say that they both are interlinked with each other, because production without consumption is meaningless and consumption without production is not possible. So this is the relationship between the production and the consumption. So our next term or the basic concept that we are studying today is investment. Investment means involved of the money. We can say that the capital formation means money involved, or money should be invested or should be provided so that we can get something, like purchase of a machinery, building, raw material, plant. What is this? This is an investment that the person can do so that he can produce something or he can do for a production. So we can say that investment means the allocation of a money to get benefit in future, or investment is a type of a real investment. Means those investments that are done for machinery, gold, silver, land, building, it should be there in this. Not a financial investment that is on the shares and debentures that I told you before in the key terms. So in this we involve the real investment, the investment that is done in the building, machinery, equipments, plants, that are various things others. So next our thing is types of investments. There are of two types, that is a gross investment and the net investment. So first, gross investment. Gross investment means the investment or the money distribution in the fixed assets or in a working assets or inventory, means working capital. So inventory investment means investment in the raw material, in the semi-finished goods or tools or some small parts that are to be used for further production or that are to be used with a day-to-day life. This is known as the inventory investment. And then second type that is included in the gross investment is fixed investment. Fixed investment means the investment that are to be done for a long period of a time and for more years, that is building, machines, equipments. In this, the investment should be for a long period of time and should not be changed easily. But in the inventory investment, there the investment should be done for a regular purposes so that the production actually should be done. This is known as the inventory investment. So we can say that the gross investment means inventory investment plus fixed investment. When the both investments are to be concluded, then the concluded item is we can get a gross investment. So next our type is net investment. Net investment means gross investment minus depreciation. As I told you before, depreciation means reduction in the value of the asset. As we purchase a mobile phone today and sell it into the after 1 year, there is the value decreased. And that value reduction or the decreased value is known as a depreciation. And that depreciation should be for maybe for some damages purposes, or maybe that age should be involved, or maybe its usage should be there. As in the factory, machines are used for daily purposes and for a long period of time. So there the machines are to be depreciated accordingly. So if we can say that machinery used for a year and machinery is of rupees 50,000. If we want to sell after 1 year and the depreciation we assumed is 10%, then it means we can sell it for rupees 45,000 after 1 year. As we purchased a machinery of rupees 50,000 and after 1 year if we want to sell it, we can sell it of rupees 45,000 and not on 50,000. This is known as the depreciation because at the 1 year we use it. Maybe there is some damages, there is to be repairs that is to be done. Means the machinery is not it's in a original position. That is known as a depreciation. We included in this. So net investment means gross investment. Gross investment includes both the fixed and the inventory investment, and minus depreciation we can get a net investment. And also the net investment is also known as the replacement asset because the investment we should done and we get a value that should be replaced it. It is known as the replacement investment. So this is all about the four concepts that we are discussing today, that is market, production, consumption and investment. So today your questions are define production and explain the various types of utilities that are created in production. Second question that you have to write an answer is explain the following, that is market and consumption. Means you have to give a brief note on these two terms. Third question is define investment and also provide the various types of the investments that are involved in this. So you go for various links in the YouTube and also for internet so that you can write the better way of these questions. You can write better answers of these questions.